Alright, so today I'm going to teach you guys how to make a working boomerang. So all I use for this project is a scrap piece of plywood, some epoxy, a drill with a sanding end or just any sander, and a bandsaw or any sort of saw you could use to cut the wood in a straight line. Alright, so now you're going to take your scrap piece of wood and you're going to measure the length of your blades. The blades that I used were 4 centimeters wide by 30 centimeters long, and this was on 7 millimeter thick plywood. Now, the heavier the plywood, the better, but any sort of wood would work. Now, you want to go and you want to cut out your 2 blades. Now you need to be careful when cutting out your boomerang, because if it's not cut straight, it will not fly very well. Alright, so next you want to measure how wide your boomerang is. In this case, I measured it to be 4 centimeters wide. And now you're going to take your blade and you're going to see how long it is. In this case, it was 30 centimeters. And then you want to take half of your width and take it off, so minus it from half of your length. And then you are going to make 2 marks on either side, whatever the distance that is from the end of your blades. So in this case, I should have a 4 centimeter wide center on the boomerang. Alright, so all that you have to do now is you're going to cut out the center of the each blade, and I just use a chisel, but you could use a sander, you could use even a carving set if you have, or a knife. You want to go and you want to cut it down to the center of the wood. Alright, now both of your blades should fit snugly together. And to make sure that they have been cut the right way, you're going to take a square and you're just going to put it up against the corner and make sure that they form a nice right angle with each other. Alright, now you're going to glue the 2 blades together. I used epoxy, but you could use any glue, super glue, wood glue. It doesn't really matter. I just found that epoxy was the most durable for the boomerang, and then you're going to put both sides together. And now you're going to make sure that the one side at least is at a right angle, and I'm going to clamp it and leave it for the night. Alright, so now that it's all nice and dry, I'm going to take off the clamp and just check its sturdiness. Seems to be alright. Now I'm going to take some wood fill, and I'm just going to fill in any bumps or nicks near or even inside the blades of the wood. Alright, so now that your wood fill is all dry, it is time to get prepped for the sanding of the blades. Now you're going to want to pay attention to whether you are left or right-handed, and if you are right-handed, you want that to be the leading edge, and the other ends to be the trailing edge. Now if you are left-handed, all you want to do is flip these over, in which that would be the trailing edge, and the other side would be the leading edge. Now we're going to get a Sharpie, and we're going to pay very careful attention to the angles at which we're drawing at. At the front, you want to have two very sharp 30-degree angles that meet at the center. And then in the back, you're going to want to have an angle about 20 degrees that meets at around the middle of the blade. Alright, so you want to remember eye protection when you're working with anything that produces a lot of dust. Alright, so now we're going to take our drill and we're going to start sanding all the way down to the edges. Now this will take a while, so patience is key here. And be careful, do not over sand your edges. And the straighter and less bumpy they are, the better your boomerang will fly. And once it is all sanded, it is now ready to fly. Alright guys, so throwing a boomerang is not at all like throwing a frisbee. First, you have to get your grip right. So grab it like this. You'll have your thumb on the trailing edge and your other fingers behind. Now, what you're going to want to do is you're not going to want to throw it like a frisbee sideways. You're going to want to throw it upwards at an upward angle. Alright, sort of like this. Alright, so another part about throwing a boomerang is it is all about angle. So you want to find which way the wind is coming from, and you will throw with your wind on your opposite cheek. So you judge the wind, which isn't very strong right now, and I'll be throwing it perpendicular to where the wind is going. Now, don't worry if you don't get it on your first try. Throwing a boomerang does take a little bit of practice and judgment, and that just grows with time. So, be prepared. It only took me about a couple hours just to get the hang of it, and it is fairly easy to throw once you know what you are doing. Alright guys, now I hope you enjoyed this build video as much as I did. Please remember to like, subscribe, and please comment on any future projects that you'd like to see happening right here on this channel. I hope to see you guys next week, and thank you for watching this video. Alright guys, just one more thing. I would like to remind you to share this video with your friends. I would love for this channel to grow and for my knowledge to spread. Alright, bye guys.